Good morning, friends. I like to start by thanking Raju Bhatia. I think he's a wonderful gentleman, and I think he has been doing a marvelous job of running both the Asia Pacific HR Congress as well as the World Congress. And both these, I was just mentioning to him in the morning, have become world-class events. And I think most of the countries in this, not only in this part of the world, but everywhere, keep looking towards this particular event. I am very happy and pleased to be here and share whatever little knowledge and wisdom that I have gathered. I like to start the day by paying tribute to all of you who are also teachers. Some of us are designated teachers, but everyone is a teacher because everyone is a source of learning for others. And when you are a source of learning for others, you are also teachers. So my tributes to all of you, and I keep saying, we developed the first human resource development function in Larsen & Toubro on the basis of the inputs we got from line managers. We interviewed a large number of line managers, and it is they didn't suggest the name HRD, it is the contribution of an academic person, but the kind of philosophy, the kind of tenets they have outlined are all the ones which formed the foundation for human resource development function. And since then, I'm sure some of you have realized and noted in whatever Uday Parikh and I wrote, quite often we dedicated our books to our students from whom we have learned. So learning is a two-way process, and today is a great day. I'm very happy on this auspicious day. I got this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on the HR function and the need for self-renewal of the HR function. I would like to present a very quick summary outline of what I am going to be talking this morning. First, I think these are the great times. Whether the rupee is going down, dollar is coming up, gold prices are going up, the economy is going down, etc., etc. Ups and downs are a part of life, but these are great times for HR managers. And these are the times where HR managers, if they see the opportunity, they can do marvelous things. So great opportunities exist for HR managers. But the disappointing story is most of them don't realize what great opportunities they have in front of them. 90% of them are wasting their time and talent. That's why when Raju asked me, I said I would like to talk on self-renewal of HR managers. And I'm going to be presenting some of my thoughts. For most of you know, most of you I'm sure remember, the first human resources development department, a dedicated human resources development department, was conceptualized in the year 1974 and operationalized in 1975 by Larsen & Toubro, followed promptly by State Bank of India and its associate banks. And later on, both public sector, private sector got into the field and started developing a new function called human resource development function. Unfortunately, what happened was some of the managers who were doing similar to what HR was doing renamed themselves as human resources development. Training people renamed themselves, personnel people renamed themselves. So by about 80s, early 80s, human resource function didn't remain the kind of function that was philosophically envisaged in 1974-75. In 1974-75, those of you who have had an opportunity to read our book, which is the first consulting report of L&T published by the Academy of Human Resource Development, we have outlined the human resource function as a function whose primary purpose is to create competencies in a corporation. Competence building, commitment building, culture building. Competence building, without competencies you can't do any job. You may have competencies but you don't have commitment, again you can't do a job. You have competencies and commitment, the job that you do will be only for a short period of time. Culture will give sustainability, and very rightly today's conference is on sustainability, and when you have competence, commitment and culture, sustainability takes place.